really excited for my dinner tonight. I ordered some fish and all that, but have to go out for a little bit and then I'm going to make it and eat it and it's going to be delicious. So, yeah, I'll be out for a little bit and then we're going to make it and you'll see how good it is. All right. Okay, I go out for just a little bit and my fish is gone. Don't know what happened to it. Wait. Do you think Happy had anything to do with this? Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here with a new review for all of you, with big thanks to Koei Tecmo US for providing me with a review code for Fairy Tail 2 for PlayStation 5. This game is developed by Gust, best known for the Atelier series, along with others like Blue Reflection. As a fan of Fairy Tail, I was excited to check this one out. I also played and beat the 2020 Fairy Tail game, and so this was a great opportunity for me to review this game. So what did I think of Fairy Tail 2? Did I love it, or was there more to be desired? Well, let's find out as I will go over the story and presentation, followed by graphics and performance, then music and voice acting, followed by the gameplay, and then my final thoughts and replay value before giving my final score. Also, there's a new story exclusive to Fairy Tail 2 called The Key to the Unknown after you finish the main game. To avoid spoilers for that part, I will not cover that portion of the game. So with that all out of the way, let's dive into my review of Fairy Tail 2. I hope you enjoy. Fairy Tail was created by Hiromu and Fairy Tail 2 follows the final story arc of the original Fairy Tail story, the Alvarez Empire arc, as the members of the Fairy Tail Guild, along with other guilds across the kingdom of Fiore, need to defeat what are known as the Springing 12 and the Black Wizard Seraph in order to save all of Fiore. I enjoyed playing through this story as there's lots of action, and unlike the 2020 game which had small set areas to go to, now you get a much bigger open world type setting. It was really fun to run around in and play through the story. Now, if you're not familiar with Fairy Tail or you are behind on the manga or anime, Fairy Tail 2 isn't user friendly to newcomers. Now, you can still play and enjoy the game if you know nothing about Fairy Tail and the series, but you will be quite lost. For those of us that are fans of Fairy Tail, there is lots to enjoy, though there are some disappointments. Just like with the 2020 game, many characters are missing from this. Many aren't even mentioned because with the 2020 game, they would have kind of awkward cutscenes where characters are talking to someone who isn't there, like say, Macau, but for Fairy Tail 2, they just don't exist at all. Maybe this was Gust's way to try and ease new players into the game by not overwhelming players with the amount of characters that Fairy Tail has, but as a fan, I was hoping we got to see more of the side characters. Some are mentioned in the game, like Loxus's Thunder Legion, but you don't actually get to see Freed, Evergreen, or Big Slow. The game also is presented in a visual novel style mostly, which being developed by Gus, you do get used to it. There are some action cutscenes here and there, but most of it is visual novel style through the story and also through these campfire scenes, which unlock as you level up your skill tree or origin points as you progress through the game. Many of these are your filler type episodes that you would see in the anime of mainly funny scenes with some being story, background elements, and emotional moments, but most of these are kind of your just, ease kind of type of funny scenes. There were quite a few moments watching these that did make me laugh out loud, and I did enjoy these, but again, I watched the anime, so it's hard to say how someone new to the series would find these Now, the main story isn't very long. Depending on how much you do, it will take anywhere between 15 to 20 hours, I would say, to finish the main game, not including the epilogue story stuff after. And to be honest, I don't mind that considering how long a lot of RPGs are, especially lately, so I'm okay with some here and there being shorter. Graphically, the game looks solid. Nothing special, but solid 3D models for the ones that are here, with nice looking environments to explore in. There are solid animations played out through battles, with some funny facial animations that we get here too. Performance wise, it runs quite smooth. Being able to run across fields and going through battles was quite fast paced and fun. There was one boss battle, however, where the frame rate took a big hit. Just way too much sand. So it's just something to be aware of, as I'm not sure how it would perform on the Switch version, or perhaps patches can smooth things out later on. Other than that though, the game as a whole was smooth sailing for me. The soundtrack for Fairy Tail 2 is a combination of the 2020 game along with new songs for this one, which I'm perfectly fine with, because while the Fairy Tail game doesn't use music from the anime, the soundtrack that is in here is fantastic. Really underrated and fits the theme of Fairy Tail so well. I love the main overture theme, and going through the game with this soundtrack was so much fun. For voice acting, you get the Japanese voices from the anime. They all do a great job, but if you know me, I do prefer English, as I wish the English voice actors were here. I just love what Todd, Jeremy, Colleen, Brittany, and more bring for characters like Natsu, Lucy, Urza, Wendy, respectively. I also think if you had the English voices here, you would bring more fans into the series and to play the game. I understand too that it can be expensive to do these anime licensed games and to have English when you're not sure how well the game would sell, right? It's just a preference thing for me, right? But the Japanese voices are great here. Anyone who is familiar with the Ryza games will be familiar with the combat system here, and there's some DLC that includes some Atelier Ryza goodies too, just so you know. You will control one party member at a time, with having assist combos from your other two members in battle, as you can use 3 people in battle at once, while also being able to switch in and out party members throughout battle. This is very different from the 2020 Fairy Tail game that used a turn-based grid system, allowing 5 party members in battle at once, and having a more Persona feel to the battles. Now, these are more action-oriented, with allowing you to instantly defeat enemies on the field if you're high enough level so you don't have to keep entering battles, and allows you to level up quickly too. How leveling up works is, instead of a standard level 1 to level 2, Fairy Tail 2 uses what's called origin levels. Works the same way, just a different name, and with a skill tree for each character to unlock new skills, as long as you have the right items and certain crystals to unlock the next part of the skill tree. And like I said, for the story section, you unlock extra story elements at campfires called Fairy Tail Diaries to get more scenes of your filler episode ones, right? You also explored the big open maps, which is a huge improvement over the 2020 Fairy Tail game. In that one, you were limited on what you can do in those areas, but Fairy Tail 2 lets you explore much more, get treasures and other collectibles, like finding clues everywhere, which unlocks extra items for you. Now, while it is an improvement, the worlds themselves still don't have a whole lot to do in them. You're mostly going from point A to point B, maybe unlocking a side quest here and there, which these are very basic and don't need to be done, which I like, since that was another issue I had with the 2020 game, is you had to do the side quest to progress. The game itself I found was a bit more challenging too. I played on normal mode as there are 4 modes to choose from, and the game, itself wasn't difficult, but I did find it more challenging when compared to the 2020 game. There were times where I had characters fall in battle and had challenges to keep everyone's health up, but again, it wasn't bad and was fair. Like I said too, there's other difficulty settings for everyone's kind of playstyle. Now, at first I was disappointed by the amount of party members. I say this because the 2020 game had so many that you got to play as, whereas Fairy Tail 2 was limited to just Fairy Tail members, with some only being in a supporting role that you didn't get to control, and you get some supporting characters from other guilds too, but again, you don't get to control them. However, I found that this way, the game was structured more to create a lot more balance between the characters. There are points where, you can only use certain ones in battles, as members will get separated from each other, allowing you to use every character, and every character kind of has their spotlight, right? It also meant in battles that I was switching in and out party members to best fit the type of advantages for fights. Now, once I started to level up more near the end, I didn't need to do this as much and had my favorite characters lined up for certain moves, as you get your area effect attacks along with single enemy attacks. Characters like Wendy were good for healing, but I found not so much for combat, while ones like Natsu and later on Lucy could have attacks that would attack every enemy at once, right? And so they were great for clearing the field. There were a lot of fun, characters to use and fun to be had with the combat, and just like the 2020 Fairy Tail game, Fairy Tail 2 combat system is probably its greatest strength. There's quite a bit to enjoy with Fairy Tail 2. The combat was lots of fun, the world to explore was much more interesting than the first game, I loved the characters, and the story had some great moments, an amazing soundtrack, and overall it improved on many aspects from the 2020 Fairy Tail game. However, I feel like there's still so much potential needed to be unlocked with Fairy Tail. With the right budget and ambition, there could be so much more here. Missing characters, not a whole lot to explore, and it's a game that once you beat it, you probably aren't going back to it, as it is quite linear. And this is where it's hard to score because I had fun with it, but it's one of those games where even though I had fun, I was disappointed too. Just with how much I love Fairy Tail, its characters, and its world. I just want more, much, much more. I still think fans of Fairy Tail will enjoy it, and even though it's not user-friendly to newcomers, I still think you can have fun with it due to its fast-paced battle system. And so for me, I will give Fairy Tail 2 a B- overall. So, what did you think? Do you agree or disagree with me? Have you played Fairy Tail 2? And let me know if you watched or read Fairy Tail before. I would love to hear all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks once again to Koei Tecmo for the review codes, really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you for watching. I will see you all next time. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. Also, follow me on Twitter at TotalLevelYT, along with Twitch, also at TotalLevelYT. Or maybe you only stayed for any skits I put in my video. In that case, please stay anyways. I'm so lonely. Alright, take care and have a great rest of your day, everyone.